going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I am going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, AZ Alkmaar away from home in the Europa League in match day 2. So let's just get straight into today's video. Before I start this video, you guys will be wondering, Brett, why the hell are you wearing last year's top? It's because this year's top is just currently in the wash, and I'll be back wearing that top in the next video, so don't worry about that. So anyway, guys, without further ado, let's just get straight into today's video. We made 4 changes from the last game against Astana. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Rojo, Williams, Fred, Matic, Greenwood, Mata, Gomez, James. Overall reaction: poor draw. Where is VAR? I want to know, where is VAR? What the fuck was that? Not the best, not the worst performance. I've seen worse, to be fair. Still can't win in the Netherlands. 1 point, it's a draw, and I think we've got 2 points, clean sheet, and personally it's not good enough. Now, before I start this video, I've got a little message for the UEFA here. I want to know, you have got VAR in play in the Champions League, and if you've got that VAR in Champions League, if you think about it, this is the UEFA Champions League, this is the UEFA Europa League, right? And you don't have VAR in Europa League. So imagine when teams are going to be wanting a potential penalty and the referee doesn't get it right, you're thinking, well, where's the hell is VAR? So the message is, where the hell is VAR? You've got to get it in play. And for me, I just don't think it makes sense, because you have it in the Champions League but you don't have it in the Europa League. Is it just because the Europa League is just a shit league, or it's just some B-Tech thing and you don't want it in play? Or is it just because the Champions League's more competitive than the Europa League? I don't understand it. So please just make your mind up, you know. If you have it in the UEFA Champions League, I think you've got to have it in the UEFA Europa League as well. So I'm a little bit pissed off the fact that you have it in the Champions League but not in the Europa League. Is it because there's shit teams in the Europa League for some reason and you don't have it in play? Please let me know, because I don't understand it. So if you have it in the UEFA Champions League, you've got to have it in the UEFA Europa League as well. For me, it just doesn't make sense, and I think you've got to get VAR in play. So imagine a referee gets the call completely wrong and the players are turning to the ref and the ref doesn't get it. You've got to bring VAR in play. That's why we've got it in the Premier League this year as well. There's a lot of people debating about VAR. Should we have it in? Should we have it out? So to be fair, if you have it in the UEFA Champions League, you've got to have it in the UEFA Europa League. I think some fans are going to be wondering, why the hell is VAR not in play in the Europa League when it's in play in the Champions League? And also, it's not even going to be in play in the final as well. What's the point of having VAR in the Champions League when it's not in play in the UEFA Europa League? So for me, it just makes no sense. Is it because there's shit teams in the Europa League and there's better teams in the Champions League? Just please let me know. For me, it makes no sense. And in this game as well, there was a couple of handball calls and the referee got some calls wrong. What do you do? And I'm sure that the referee and the linesman made mistakes. This is why you have VAR in play. If the referee has said no, that's why VAR is there, to back up the referee. I'm just saying, if you have VAR in play in the UEFA Champions League, UEFA have got to step up and put it in the Europa League as well. It's the same football association, so you've got to have it in the Europa League as well. And I'm a little bit pissed off the fact that it's in the Champions League but not in the Europa League. For me, I just don't think it makes any sense. But anyway, getting into the video, guys, what did I make of the performance? I think overall, the performance was not good enough. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks it was a good performance. For me, it wasn't. Clearly not good enough, because in every single game, we should be going down to wherever you're playing. You've got to go in the mentality and think, we're going to win this game. Never mind settling for draws and losses. Now, obviously, we've seen our away form recently. Since March, we've not won an away game. We should know by now we've got to be winning home and away. Every team is going to be wanting to win home and away. The only trophy we're probably going to win this season is winning the Europa League, of getting ourselves back into the Champions League. So I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to really step up the performances with these players. Yes, we're in a bad spell at the minute, but we've got to improve the team. Yes, we may have injuries, but injuries isn't an excuse. You've still got 11 players out there battling for a place as well. I think overall it wasn't good enough. I think if VAR was in play, we could have lost this game 2-1, 3-1 easily. A few handball calls, referee didn't get the calls right. We would have had a penalty as well in the second half. Overall, it wasn't good enough. Solskjaer thinks it was a good performance because we were away from home. and it was a tough place to go, but nah, it wasn't good enough. How can you call that was a good performance? Going back to that starting 11 actually, and I remember seeing this on the pitch. You could see it even if you were at the game or watching it on TV, and you had James out on the left, playing as a striker, Greenwood playing out on the right, coming as a striker. You know, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying at the end of every single video, he's got to get every single player in the right positions. He's not doing that. He's changing it around. And you've got to think about of where everyone is suitable, in which positions they can play at. The likes of Daniel James, he's a left winger. He's playing as a striker. Yes, he might be playing as a sort of a bit more of a central attacker for Wales. He also can play out on the left. So this is why I'm saying you've got to play the players where you can trust, where they're going to cause a threat. With all this shuffling around, it's not going to help. You've got to stick to where the players are going to play well in or play well at. You've got to go from there, really. With all this shuffling around, it's not going to work, and the players are going to be confused. So I think you've got to think properly of where you want the players to start. With all this shuffling around, it's not going to work. Overall, wasn't good enough. First off, we were put on the back foot. I think in most of this game, we were on the back foot. We could not get going in this game whatsoever. I think it was just a bit like the Newcastle game, really. It was like copy and paste from that Newcastle game, even though we played Newcastle after this game. A bit like the Newcastle game, really. You know, we had Phelan, Kieran, McKenna, and Michael Carrick just putting their hands up. Where's the pressing? They're working with the players closely to improve this team. We're nowhere near improving this team right now. Most of this game we're put on the back foot. We struggled to get going. We didn't even put a shot on target in the 90 minutes. And that's poor. We're still lacking the creativity. It's not good enough. Second half, I think you would have been thinking, right, let's go and play with quick, incisive football. Let's lift that tempo, that intensity, and let's take it to a next level. But we're not taking it to a next level. We're just parking the bus. We're just letting them come at us. Like I said, there was no real urgency, no real fluidity, completely flat, no energy in the team whatsoever. And these European nights, yes, they are going to be tough away from home, but you've got to go for it. We can't turn up for these easy games. Yes, we might have got a good win against Astana 1-0, but that's still not good enough because they got hammered by Partizan Belgrade. I think it's not good enough, the performance. But Solskjaer's going to have a different view on it because he's the manager. But at the end of the day, I think this performance wasn't good enough. And like I was saying, with all this shuffling, it's going to confuse the players. You've got to stick to the positions where they're going to be good in. And like Daniel James shouldn't be playing as a striker. Drop him back as a left winger, get Greenwood up top and get someone who's going to be playing out with width a bit more. He could have started Lingard, but he rotated the squad. In most of this game, we were on the back foot, couldn't get going, no real urgency, no real fluidity in the game, no real energy in the team to go and win the game, but still lacking creativity, just not good enough on my behalf. Just don't think the performance wasn't great. Not the best, not the worst. I've seen worse, to be fair. Yes, Alkmaar might be in good form right now, but you can't be settling for a draw, especially away from home. Yes, it's a good start, but I mean, you've got to be picking up the 3 points. For me, I think it's 2 points dropped. Definitely 2 points dropped. What were we lacking? I think we were lacking fight, passion, pride. Not doing it for the badge, not doing it for the club. There was just no real energy, no real urgency and no real fluidity in the game, really. Just lack of creativity, lacking that final pass, still lacking the end product, still lacking that final third. And this is how much we're missing out on these players that are injured at the minute, and it doesn't help. You can't be relying on the injuries because that's not an excuse. We're just not good enough, and at the end of the day, you're still playing 11 players out there. There's nowhere to hide, so you've got to be going for these games, and we still can't turn up for these games away from home, and we've not won away from home since March. But I tell you what, like I said previously, these could have easily beat us if VAR was in play. We should count ourselves lucky, to be fair, to walk away with a draw, because I think that could have got ugly if VAR was in play. I think the last couple of weeks we've just been lacking all that, really. We've just not been showing that real intent that we want to win these matches. Some of these players are not bothered. Some of these players are too lazy, too static, standing there like lemons, just no movement up top. I think we've got to wake up and smell the coffee now. We've got to really switch it on again, especially when we're going away to Partizan Belgrade. Tell you what, that's going to be tough as well, especially when they're at home in front of their fans. Just got to improve this team, but we're not right now, are we? Was it a deserved point? I think a lot of people are going to say it's 2 points dropped, and I think it is 2 points dropped. I mean, everyone's going to want to win away from home, but especially against AZ Alkmaar, I think from the manager's perspective, he's thinking because they're in good form at the minute, but it still carries on their good momentum because like a good run right now, because they've not been beaten in I don't know how many games. But at the end of the day, I think maybe for us it might be a deserved point, but I think for me, I think it's just 2 points dropped, because you can't be drawing away from home against someone like AZ Alkmaar, someone that's probably unknown again. I think it may be a deserved point for us, but I think when people are entitled to their own opinions like mine, I think it's 2 points dropped. But from the manager's perspective, he thinks it's a deserved point. It is a good start, but is it really though? That's the main question. I think it was 2 points dropped. It is a tough away day. Also, it is tough to go away from home, but you can't be just relying on winning at home. You've got to win your games away from home as well. So we've got to at least win against Astana away from home, and we've got to at least win against Partizan Belgrade away from home. So it's going to be tough, these games, especially when we're in bad form at the minute. I think from the manager's perspective, it was a deserved point, but as fans, I think we're thinking, it's 2 points dropped as well at the same time. Why can we not win away? The thing is, from my perspective, the reason why we cannot win away from home recently, I think for us as a team, we've just been struggling with the mentality, and we've got a thing in our team where we always underestimate teams. We've seen it against West Ham, Palace, Southampton, Newcastle. We've seen it in too many games last season as well. We underestimated Arsenal. We got our pants pulled down there. We got our pants pulled down against Cardiff, Huddersfield. Loads of games where we've underestimated teams as well. But for us, firstly, we always underestimate teams. That's why we cannot win away from home, because we underestimate teams too much. Secondly, it's a mentality thing as well, because these players think they can win these games, but then we're probably thinking on paper our team's probably better than their team, but when you're playing out on the pitch, it's completely different. And these players going with the wrong mentality, and then they get the pants pulled down. And since March, we haven't won, and that just shows how much we've not improved since March. What's that now? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months we have not won away from home. It's shocking. That is also counting the summer break as well. But yes, we might have gone on pre-season and all that shebang, but at the end of the day, we have not won away from home in 7 months. That's how poor we have been away from home. I think for me, it's just we underestimate teams too much. We go in with the wrong mentality, and the mindset is just not there as well. The mindset in every single game, you've got to win every single game. You've got to query if our players are good enough to turn up for games like this one against AZ Alkmaar away from home. But never mind about trying to win these games. You've got to win these games, And this is where we've got to bring that confidence back in the team, the winning mentality back in the team, get the mood back up in the dressing room, get these players feeling like it's going good for us again. But we've been showing no improvement in the last couple of weeks. We've got to show that real intent if we want to win these games. We've got to turn up for these games, and we are not showing that right now. We've got to go out there, and we've got to go in with the right mentality, right mindset, and stop underestimating teams. That's what we keep doing. And that's why we're just not winning away from home. We've got to get over that underestimating teams. And when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, I thought, oh yeah, all that underestimating will stop now. But we're still underestimating teams. This is what was happening with Mourinho. So we've got to start getting better away from home. But is it though? No, it's not. We've somehow got to turn it around. And that's why we've probably got some inexperienced players at the minute, inexperienced coaching staff that don't have a clue what they're doing as well. I think for me, it's just we're just underestimating teams. It's a mentality thing, and it's a mindset thing as well, and that's probably the real reason why we're just not winning these games away from home. Who stood out in the game? I think there's a lot of players that were just look lethargic in this game. Not many players stood out in this game. The man probably that saved us in this game a lot was De Gea. I can only give it him. Brandon Williams on his debut, maybe Dan James here and there. Not many players stood out in this game, because I think most of those players just looked lethargic, were not bothered, too lazy. Also, you've got to think about the pitch as well. We were playing on a AstroTurf pitch as well. Some of these plays were a little bit different on playing on grass because there's a comparison. Getting into the stats, the possession for Alkmaar was 52.3%. And for Manchester United, it was 47.7%. They just did that by a small margin. They were better in the possession-wise because they controlled and dominated that game, really. Goals, obviously, Alkmaar scored none and we scored none. Total shots, Alkmaar had 12 and Manchester United had 6. Shots on target, they had 4 and United had none on target. Poor. Straight down poor. We've not had a shot on target in this game in the whole 90 minutes. That's how piss poor we were. Shot accuracy for Alkmaar was 33.3%. And for Manchester United, it was nil point. Not good enough. Shots inside the box for Alkmaar was 7. And for Manchester United, it was 3. Shots outside the box for Alkmaar was 5. And for Manchester United, it was 3. Still couldn't put a bloody shot on target, though. Total passes for Alkmaar, it was 616 passes. That's a lot of passes. And for Manchester United, it was 572 passes. That's the first time Manchester United have been outpassed by a team this season. Pass accuracy for Alkmaar, it was 87.3%. And for Manchester United, it was 87.4%. Bloody hell, we only did that by 0.1. Can you believe it? Talking about the substitutions now, James went off for Rashford. Talking about James's performance, started as a centre forward and became predictably isolated and was moved to the right. Did not play where he should play on the left, like I was saying previously, really. Greenwood went off for Lingard. Talk about Greenwood's performance, never really got going wherever he played. Having started on the right, substituted for Jesse Lingard. Mata went off for McTominay. Talk about Mata's performance. Remained in the playmaker role as Solskjaer tinkered with the other forwards, but United were too rigid. Onwards and upwards. Next up, Partizan Belgrade. Now, Partizan Belgrade, I've heard some good things about these lot, you know. I don't know much about them, Partizan Belgrade. I'm just going to go back to their last game, actually, in the Europa League. I think these lot, it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard against Partizan Belgrade. They will give us a good test, good fight, because, you know, they're going to be in front of their home fans. It's going to be tough for us because we're going away from home. They're going to have the home advantage, so they'll have the fans behind them. So it's going to be definitely tough against these lot. Getting into their league, they are sat Partizan Belgrade, they're sat 5th at the minute in their league. It's going to be a tough game against these lot. They're up there in the mix with their other teams. You know, they're only about 5 points behind by their rivals, by Red Star Belgrade. But it's going to be tough against Belgrade, especially going away from home. They've got the home advantage, so they'll have their fans on their side. I think it's going to be crucial for us to pick up the points going away to them. It's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult. I think in every game for us it's going to be tough and difficult to go away from home. I think every game is going to be tough for us this season, especially in the form that we're in right now. Belgrade, they'll give us a good fight, good test from minute 1 to minute 90. I think it's all about the mentality, the mindset. I think we've got to be physically ready on the night, physically and mentally ready on the night. Belgrade, they'll be ready to give it everything, hopefully. Pray to God that our players can bloody turn up for once and hopefully try and get the win away from home as well. But it's going to be tough to go away from home. They got a good result against Astana, so they're going to be hard to break down. I don't really know much about them. Another fantastic team in their league, so it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult. I think it's just all about the mindset, the mentality. Got to be physically, mentally prepared, and we just can't underestimate them, because if we underestimate them, we could get our pants pulled down by these lot, and we could get embarrassed on the night if we're not ready as well. You never know in football. Anything can happen in football as well. I think we've just got to show that real intent, and we've just got to show that, you know, we've got to be ready. Whatever we've been lacking the last couple of weeks, we've just got to hopefully turn that around, or just hopefully that we can come out with a positive result, walk away with a good result against these lot, because I think they're going to be a tough side to break down as well. But they'll be giving it everything. We're going to have to give it everything. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. This is going to be the third meeting against Partizan Belgrade. This will be the first time in 53 years we played each other. Wow. And the last time we played them was in 1966, and funny enough, United lost to Belgrade and it ended 2-0 loss to United. Funny enough, we were away that night as well from home, and we lost in 1966 to Belgrade. It's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, definitely. I think it's all about that Ollie needs to pick the right team, put the players in the right positions, needs to balance the team out right. The structure in the team needs to be right. We need depth in the team. He needs to select the right formation for the game. It's going to be difficult, and for us, especially when we're going away from home, they'll have their fans backing them. It's just going to be tough, going to be difficult. We've got to give it everything, and we're lacking that creativity in the last couple of weeks. We've just got to show that we're up for these games, and we just got to turn up for them. Never enough about these players being not bothered and being lazy. We're going to be sharp as well. That's what we've not been doing the last couple of weeks. Some of these players look too lethargic, just look tired and too lazy on the ball at the minute. No real sharpness, so I think we've got to be ready mentally and physically. It's going to be important to get off with a good quick start. Got to make sure we get on the front foot, create chances. Hopefully we can take them for once, and we just need the end product. So let's see. It's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, and that's what happens in these games. I hope you guys are enjoying another video. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in the next couple of days, and peace.